What's going on, y'all? Welcome to What the Psych, a space where we talk school psychology, advocacy, and community from a voice you don't always hear from in this field. I'm your host, Rashid, and I'm a black male school psychologist committed to advocating for and protecting the educational rights of all students. My work is rooted in equity, representation, and the unwavering belief that every child deserves to be seen, supported, and empowered. Who is this podcast for? Well, this podcast is for parents, educators, and anyone who wants to better understand the educational system, share knowledge, and find inclusive ways to support students, especially our students of color, and their families who haven't always felt heard. I want to start this journey by telling you why I am here. I've been in this field for a very long time now, and as a black male school psychologist, I've seen a lot. Some good, some frustrating, and a whole lot that made me say, yo, we need to talk about this. But let me take it back for a minute. I was a senior in undergrad, and honestly, I didn't know anything about school psychology. I didn't even know what direction I wanted to take. I just knew I wanted to do something that would change lives and make a real impact. Then one day, I went to a graduate school fair at Bethune-Cookman College. That's where I met a rep from Florida A&M, Miss Green. She really helped me narrow down my focus. I told her about my passion for education and working with kids. And she looked at me and said, "You sound like a promising future school psychologist." And I looked back at her like, and what is that? That sentence, that moment, planted the seed. And from there, I started doing my research, applied to grad school, and the rest is history. Now, my grad school experience was heavy on coursework and theory, but honestly, there wasn't much hands-on experience in the field. So even though I was learning the content, I still wasn't sure what a school psychologist really did. It wasn't until my internship that everything clicked. I came back home to Jersey, and that's when I knew I was on the right path. I found myself back in the same district that educated me, supporting students who were walking the same halls as I once walked. The pride I felt in that moment, it was powerful. I thought, this is it. This is what I'm meant to do. What made it even more impactful was seeing other school psychologists of color, folks who welcomed me, guided me, and showed me that there is space for us in this field. That mentorship, that representation, it meant everything. Now, I won't lie. Being a black male in this field comes with weight. I've experienced microaggressions from people who questioned whether I was knowledgeable enough or even worthy of supporting their students. I felt the stares. I've heard the subtle comments. And I've even been in rooms where my presence was barely acknowledged, let alone valued. A lot of times it feels like I'm sitting on an island, isolated. The only one who looks like me in the building, in the department, and sometimes even in the entire school district. And even though I love what I do, there are days where I feel like I'm a true imposter in this space. A black sheep in a field that doesn't always make room for you. But still, I show up because I know why I am here. The moments when it all matters are the small ones that leave a big impact. It's every time I get to connect with a student, even if it's just a quick conversation, a fist bump in the hallway, or advocating for their educational rights behind the scenes. It's when I get to support their parents through confusing and very emotional processes. It's the moments when a student feels seen because of something I did or said. But the ones that really stick with me are my very first caseload of students. They're all grown now, and they're out here navigating life. And every now and again, I bump into one of them in public, and they'll say something like, "Yo, Mr. Mason, I remember that talk that we had back at such and such middle school. That still sticks with me." That right there, that's everything. That's the reason why I continue to do what I do. This podcast matters because it's reaching a community that so often is overlooked and underrepresented in school psychology. Too often, their concerns are big, but their voices go unheard. This space, this podcast is for us, for families, parents, educators, and students who deserve to be seen and heard. It's a place where we can build community, share real experiences, and empower one another. A place where parents can grow as advocates and feel confident in their right to speak up and ask questions. Because at the end of each and every day, their voice is the most important one at every table where their child is being discussed. We start here. We build together. This is why this matters. So we're at the end of my very first podcast, and I want to say thank you for taking the time to listen. If you felt this, if you saw yourself in any part of my story, stick around. Where you going? Tune in, subscribe, share, and let's grow this community together. I've got a lot more to say, and you already know it. And I want you here for every bit of it. Until next time, stay encouraged, stay informed, and stay in the fight for our kids. This is What the Psych, and thank you for listening.